go home in the evening, after a long day. You said, I'm going to make a special meal for myself. It's a celebration, something nice. You have it in your mind. You go home, you go into the kitchen, you have all the ingredients, and you get to work. You just get down in the kitchen. When you're finished, that plate looks like a piece of work, a masterpiece. So proud of it, you can't even eat it. You just have to sit there and stare at it. And while you're there looking in amazement, the child walks by and knocks it over, steps in it, and toddles off with little pieces of it at the bottom of his heel. That is what an engineer feels like when he sees that electronic toy tapping behind that child that you gave it to as a gift. Can you imagine all the work that was put into it just to see pieces of it flailing? Let's take, for example, something simple. The electronic remote control car. It seems like a simple toy. Now, since sharing is caring, I'm going to give you some of the information that actually goes into this wonderful toy, but keeping it at high level. Let's start with the transmitter. You have a transmitter so that you can control it. Hold it in your hand and you play. You would know about that, wouldn't you? Thank you for coming, by the way. You're going to keep me honest today. The second part is that if you have a transmitter, you need a receiver. So I'm going to see if I can draw it nice and neat. All right? This is my receiver. When the transmitter sends a signal and the receiver receives it, magical things happen. The receiver sends the information that it receives to a couple of components. Now, for a car, there's only two things we need. We need something to go forward, and we need something to steer. By the way, can you see? From the receiver, it goes to a component called ECS, Electronic Speed Control. The electronic speed control's responsibility is just to evenly send out power to the components that's connected to it. In this case, it'll be going to a motor. Okay. Still here. All right. So, going to the motor. From the ECS, it also goes to a battery. This is what powers the whole thing. Now, even though it seems like a simple drawing so far, there's a lot that goes into this little concept. You have the size of the battery that has to match perfectly with the size of or not perfectly, but it has to match with the size of the motor. And you have the ESC, the electronic speed control, which can't be too big or too small, else you'll burn up your receiver. Okay, still going. From the receiver, it also goes to a steering unit, which we call a servo. Consider your servo to be like an electronic hinge. That's what you use to turn left and right in your car. Now, why do I go through the process of showing you this at such a high level? I can go through the individual components, but we're just going to keep it at a high level so you can feel my pain. It took someone, an electrical engineer, we'll go into a mechanical engineer at parts too, just to come up with this part of the concept. How do we get this toy car to move? So you put all these things together, and now you have this toy car moving. Now what are you connected to? You place it in this nicely designed vehicle with a transmission, a differential, drive shaft, wheels, axle, all these wonderful parts. Nothing short of another masterpiece of itself. And then, for some reason, you decide to go and give it to a child so he can destroy it. This is what I call the engineer's woe. It's an amazing piece of work, even at a high level. So, the next time you decide that you want to buy your child a remote control toy, please keep in mind, there's a lot of energy, a lot of hard work by engineers, mechanical engineers, by manufacturers, and possibly that little child in Cambodia to create that battery, so that you can destroy it in your child's hand. Thank you very much.
Can we have 1 minute clock so that people can write evaluation forms for Mike? Craig, these are just little forms we have. If you're interested in writing, giving your thoughts to Mike, you don't have to do it, but if you're interested in giving your thoughts to Mike.